What's up, guys?
Anywhere.
Welcome to. You can't not be in this picture.
Hello.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm on the caffeine crash right now.
We got second place. Public kind of is goated, but yeah.
I did not.
Anyway, so we're gonna keep on walking through the hallway now. Oh, that's really close to my face. This is Aiden. Hi, Aiden. Okay, so the goal is to talk about our books more. So Josh has questions from artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
And we're gonna continue.
Hi, Avery.
Hi, Avery.
She doesn't love me.
Bye, Avery. Anyway. Okay, Josh, what's question number one?
Question number one.
Do we sit on the stairs for a little
What
bit?
character do you relate to the most, and why?
What character do you relate to the most? Wait. Oh, shoot. Heat. Okay.
Everyone's really weird in my book. I don't know.
Do you relate to the 3-year-old baby that looks like a 1-year-old?
Honestly, I was saying that, yeah, I'm just so small. Turtle. Yeah, probably, because Taylor is like the most nonchalant person ever, and I'm not usually. And then Luann is also like super anxiety ridden, like she's a lot of anxiety, and I would say I have that. So probably Turtle, because she's like one of the only characters we know. And the other two other people are like immigrants, and like just their personalities don't match me at all, so.
Space.
Yeah.
Josh, you?
I think I relate to. I don't know who I relate to the most. Maybe Javon, because when the flute goes down, he like calls out his loved ones, and he's like, "Are you guys all okay?" And I think.
Hi, guys. Welcome to the podcast. Hi. Say hi.
Hi.
Aw, isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, so
Anyway.
I think I relate to Javon the most because I don't know. I kind of care about
Upstairs.
family, and if there's a flu outbreak, I think I'd call my family and see if they're okay. So I see if they have a place to be.
Austin Pace is going to the Reds. I think I share the most in common with these two guys that were LARPing. I found out what the word LARP means.
Dude, LARPing is so much
Apparently,
fun.
LARPing is like taking leaps and bounds as you like run.
Oh,
I guess. They're the two guys.
can't feel.
That's all. There's literally like a sentence and a half about them.
Attendance.
But other than that, I don't have. We could guest appear Mrs. Clemens on the podcast. Meta. Anyway,
Or Mrs. Zar.
Josh, what's our next question?
Our next question. Sorry, it's in my pocket.
No, we're good.
Mrs.
We're
Zar's
good.
fine.
Look at that locker.
Jesus.
Are there any symbols or motifs that stand out? What do they mean? I'm saying the deep one.
Oh, mine has a really big one. It's the bean trees in the story. Because bean trees, the specific bean trees
Say hi to Mr.
like
Kemp.
grow in like really unfortunate circumstances.
Hey. Hello.
Hi. We're recording a podcast for
Oh.
Ippy Lit.
Fair enough. I'm on your podcast now?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
guest speaker.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thanks. Anyway, sorry, bean trees.
Yeah, so then it's supposed to represent, so they grow with like no water, it's like zero sun, like under the worst circumstances, and it's supposed to represent like all the people in the book because they've had really unfortunate backgrounds, and yet they still like find their families, and they grow together, and they like survive, pretty much.
Josh,
Um,
beans.
I think the one thing that could symbolize most in my book is the houses, because everybody's gone on planet Earth. Like there's nobody. There's like said 99% of the people died.
Holy crap.
So all these houses are bare and whatever. And I think that just kind of sums up like what. Let me see.
Oh, she walked away.
Guam.
Anyway,
Guam.
Guam.
I think it would symbolize like what would happen to our Earth if that sounds stupid. Well, if everybody dies and there's only so many people left, it's like what life would be out with like it'd be so personalityless because everybody just needs to survive. Just like the houses. They have no personality because they have no people.
Ooh, that's good. Guam.
Hi. Welcome to the podcast. Anyway, bye.
Yeah.
I
Personalities.
I think that the biggest part of the book, there's like 0 parts of the book actually, but the biggest parts of the book are related to like silence and like visuals. Like, I don't know, there's random words every once in a while that's like, actually not random. I would say probably 3 out of every 2 pages uses the word silence somewhere, and I circle it every time. But also like, there's a lot of like darkness words, and I think that like, that's a big part of everything is, the author keeps on bringing up this idea of silence and darkness and like the absence of color, but then every once in a while there is like an actual color, which is kind of fun. So, hi.
Hi.
Josh, what's our next question?
How does the author build tension or suspense in the narrative?
I will say for me, things kind of just build up over time is like I would say like the main way that happens in the book. Just, I don't know, I'm kind of getting, like, right when I stopped reading last, there were these, like, guys that were, like, coming, they were the LARPing guys, I think, but they were, like, they're about to do something, and I forget exactly what was about to happen, but, like, a plot point was actually going to happen for the first time, but I think that, like, that stands out because of how little has kind of gone on, except for it's getting cold, and the boy is getting weaker. That's, like, the whole thing right now, which is kind of sad.
Dying?
I don't think he's dying, but they're just getting weak because it's getting really, really cold. It's like December or something now. But they don't actually know the time. Anyway.
In my book, it's like the whole story up until the last like 6 chapters is kind of like chill. It's just like how she builds her life with her 3-year-old and with the new mom that she found and the new mom's son, and how they build their life together and how they grow into the community. And then in the last chapters, she decides to try to adopt Turtle, which means that she's got to go to another state and like try to pretty much not blackmail, but like try to find Turtle's parents and get them to sign, like, we want this girl to have our child. And then she also decides to take the 2 immigrant refugees and try to take them to a sanctuary church. And a lot of the tension in that is that they could get caught, and if they do, the 2 immigrants could possibly get killed, and she could get arrested and not get Turtle.
So
yeah, that's my tension build up, whatever.
For me, the tension build up is just not knowing what's going on. Because there's so many different, it's so great. There's so many different perspectives that it's written from, you just don't know what's happening. And so that kind of builds tension, like a lot of tension. Because you're just like, what's happening? Why does nobody have friends? Like, why are more people being added? And that just, I don't know, at least for me, brings tension.
Okay, should we do Uno Mas? We have been doing it for approximately 8 minutes.
Characters, kind of. What motivates the antagonist or like the antagonistic parts of the novel? And can you empathize with the bad parts? I feel like with ours, there's not really that much of an antagonist. Like,
The antagonist is just the world around them. I feel like in almost all of ours.
Yeah.
Like society
Yeah.
and mine, and your guys, it's literally just the world and
Yeah.
their circumstances.
Yeah, like there's no real bad guy. I guess it's just kind of like impending death. It's kind of weird how like the boy keeps on asking about like, I don't know, there's something that he doesn't trust about the dad or about the man. He keeps on just bringing up like telling the truth, and like he says like, will you tell me the truth about like if we're gonna die? And he keeps on asking if they're gonna die, and he's like, no, but I wouldn't necessarily tell you the truth, which isn't like an admission of guilt or anything. I don't know. It's really weird how their relationship is structured, I guess, because they very much love and trust each other, and like they do everything for each other. But also like, I guess there's a disconnect as the boy kind of loses his will to live, which sounds really dark. Maybe that is very dark. Maybe that is the book. Very dark and sad.
Oh, I actually figured out the meaning of my book, the whole meaning. So like throughout the whole book, beans.
Something.
The whole book, like names are super important. The immigrant woman, her name is Esperanza, which means hope. And yet she's the character in the book that has the least amount of hope. She tries to kill herself because her daughter was taken away from her. And Esteban, who's the other immigrant, his name means like crown or royal. And Taylor is like a seamstress, and she's the main character. So my theory is that Taylor is like bringing these people together because before they weren't. And Luann's life was falling apart, and her life was falling apart.
Who's Luann?
Luann's the other mother, the son.
Okay.
And then the immigrants, like, Esperanza was trying to kill herself. So throughout the whole book, it's like everyone just trying to get Esperanza, to try to get Hope back, and Taylor's kind of the one that brings all of them together.
Keep trying to get Esperanza back.
So yeah, figured out the book.
Josh, who's the antagonist?
I feel like it's almost for the characters themselves. Like, there's not really an antagonist. They're just like struggling against the world. But like, Kirsten, this girl, doesn't know who her family is, and she's trying to figure that out. And then all the rest of the characters are just kind of side people, which are gonna connect to Kirsten, and they're going to. I think eventually Kirsten will find out, like, her family and why some things are connected, and yeah, connections in her life.
I think I forgot about this until now, but like stories have like man versus like nature, like man versus self. I think, Josh, I would say yours sounds like it's man versus self, and it sounds like Claudia's is maybe a lot of the above, like all of them except maybe supernatural, and maybe mine is mostly man versus nature, and also kind of man versus man. I don't know. We're figuring out how the apocalypse happened a little bit. Anyway, welcome to the quiet room. I think we're about good for podcast 4. Is this podcast 4?
Quattro.
4. This now is appropriate to
Now I
get
can hold
4.
it to 4.
Anyway, happy Christmas. Thanks for watching or
No
listening.
tacos this time.
Pobre tacos.